vanilla, but yeah, he's definitely got some good times here in the tournament too. Like you said, 29, our only tournament 29. But yeah, we'll see if Creed can keep up or if MetaLow runs into any snags or whatever. Because winner of this goes on to winners finals. We have LVCreed and MetaLow starting off with Quigman stage. We're off to the races, guys, and as you can see, LVCreed choosing the base sprite. MetaLow going with classic mega. I like it. So
nice. Our racers get a choice of 4 sprites with the randomizer. They can play as the OG Mega Man, Roll Chan, Base, and Proto Man.
And looks like we have Buster Immune Gorillas here. So yeah, these guys taking some pretty heavy hits on the way to the laser beam section. And we'll see how they deal with this. Going to the left side, apparently that might save just a little bit of frames from the way I do it on the right side, but I've always done it on the right side since I was a kid. Probably should get used to doing the left side myself, but you know, that's neither here or there. MetaLow and LVCreed making good, quick work out of this section. Hoping not to see any Prodigy specials, quote unquote. Kappa, speaking of Prodigy, he's here in the chat. What's up, Prodigy?
Hey, Prodigy, how's it going?
Tournament winner from last year. Unfortunately, not yesterday, but the day before, he took a loss to Squidman and got knocked out of the tournament. But good stuff to him anyways, you know. I mean, great runner. And speaking of great runners, I mean, we have a lot of good talent in this this top 10 bracket that we're doing. Made it out of the group stage, and yeah, we've got Airman and Quick, and these guys are fighting him and bustering him down. Looks like he's a little buster weak, and these guys are making it out. So no items here. Going into Flash. Pretty much in sync. So get some syncs in the chat.
Hope everyone's having a good weekend. Fat Fan here. Not the worst place to find one, especially since it is buster susceptible, unlike those monkeys we saw earlier.
And can take you off if they're right there, to be honest, because you can't really do much about them. And that's pretty much a 3-second time save. You're not getting back. Or I say time save, I mean time loss. You know what I meant. Alright,
yeah,
here we go. Excuse me. It looks like MetaLow pulled ahead of screen somehow. Perhaps I would say sync issues, but I don't think it's that. So
no, I think Creed took an extra hit or two to the toothpaste dispensers.
Yeah, that could possibly be it. It looks like Creed's gonna go ahead and pause buffer and go ahead and stay up top to grab this this E-tank up here, as MetaLow says no and just hops down. I respect this. This E-tank actually wastes about 7 seconds, I believe, to grab. So you know, if you can afford to skip it, it's always better to skip, personally, in my opinion. Yeah, MetaLow taking out Crashman here in the Flash boss room. He's out of the fight while Creed is going in. So we'll see where he goes to Bubble, of course. Good third choice pick.
Crashman really. And Crashman stage. Charlie boy, is this seed even randomized?
I mean, Crashman's not supposed to be in Flashman stage, so no, you're right. You know, it's definitely randomized.
Flash crash the rhyme.
You try. It's all good. I'm picking on you, man. Don't pay me no mind.
Good try.
Space
monkeys are back.
Here. Yeah. MetaLow setting up for the pause buffer zip. Creed's gonna have to find somewhere to find a couple of seconds to catch up to him. Which, I mean, you know, it's still anybody's race. It's way early, and you know, a couple hits from a few enemies here and there. That's nothing compared to the catastrophe that happened to me the other night. let me go ahead and give dragon smooches and whatnot, but that's neither here or there. Creed getting his pause buffer zip into the ceiling. I'm gonna skip a big section of this bubble stage, past the checkpoint screen. Alright, Meta going a little slow. He's got some gaps here.
Just talking a little bit about how we got here. Round 1, Creed beat out the one and the only the Daggett 2-0 to make it to round 2, where he also took out Kamasenin and landed here in round 3. MetaLow, just because of the way the bracket was laid out, got a bye in round 1. Fought Kumba 2-0 and ended up here in round 3. The loser of tonight's race is going to face off against Squidman to try and stay in the game.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, it was pretty stacked final bracket. All those competitors you mentioned are really great runners, and yeah, Creed doing some weakness hunts and finds Metal Blade. Maybe not the best weakness, but it did the job for him. And they're gonna find item 3 for their troubles here in Bubble Man. MetaLow makes his way to Wood, and Creed's gonna join him. So similar routing and similar thoughts here. Yeah, when you find item 3, it's either great to go to, say, Woodman or Heatman stage. If you found item 2 prior, you might want to advance to Heat, but if you haven't, which is hard for me to break personally as a habit, because I'd always see item 3 and I'd be like, well, I'm ready to do this Heatman zip, but the best way to go about it probably is to go ahead and grab item 2 first, or continue to look. So I agree with going to Wood here. You can get the good Wood zip after getting item 3, and yeah, and then you have the potential to find another item. So we should see these guys set this up, I imagine. Meta's gonna go ahead and check the next screen up. No fat fans here to pause them. And you don't really have to check that screen if you have time stopper, as the time stopper will slow the fat, or will freeze the fat fans, and you can continue. Otherwise, if you do the zip, you could possibly soft lock if a fat fan's there, or a fan fiend, excuse me, proper terminology.
Yeah, since when does that matter to us? Quite a few Mecha Joes here in.
Bro, what a awesome zip! Yeah, the Mecha Joes. I was speaking on dude, the one frame. Like, Creed got that first shot. He didn't even have to like continue to try to shoot to get that ladder clip, and they had to do it with Buster, which is pretty tricky compared to say Quick Boomerang. It's pretty easy. All right, these guys find Flashman and Heat stage. They're going at it. Creed weakness hunting.
And stick with that Metal Blade as MetaLow heads to Airman.
Yeah, nice little manip from Creed. MetaLow heading out to Airman stage. Will Creed join him? No, Creed's gonna take a route divergence and go to Metal. Let's see. In this situation, yeah, I don't disagree with either one of these choices really. The idea here is you're gonna have to do one of these stages anyway. Personally, you're gonna want item 1 or 2 before you go to Metal, and personally, I want item 1 or 2 before I go to Air. Because there are so many pits in Air, and the fact the item 1 and item 2 thing for Metal, Metal has that long section in the back that you can just ride over, makes it a lot quicker with item 2. Item 1, however, for the first part of the stage, the Metal zip if you have a good one, but sometimes, you know, if item 1 is stationary, you're not gonna get that zip anyway.
Pretty straightforward Metal Man stage for Creed so far. Those janky makers not posing any problems. No moles or anything spawning to threaten him out of the sky. And MetaLow not having too much of a problem with this airman stage either. So both of them reaching their respective boss doors at exactly the same time.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard to say which one of these stages are longer. I mean, say they're both about the same length, depending on what enemies are in the stage, and it seems like it doesn't matter much. Creed's gonna have to pop an E-tank to fight this Woodman. MetaLow doing some fishing, trying to find the fast weapon to kill Heat. Oh, I think he's found it. What is that? That's Heat. Heat kills Heat.
Creed picks up item 2 for his trouble.
Yeah, see, now that's
facilitate,
actually... Sorry, go ahead.
It's just going to facilitate possibly some quicker movement. Well, definitely some quicker movement.
Yeah, and MetaLow finds item 1, so he's going to go ahead and go to Crash. I'd say, and now with Creed and Air, I'd say Creed actually has a slight advantage here if he decides to go ahead and use item 2 in one of these sections to get past some of this stuff a little faster. I personally, the way I use it is I use it here in the first screen and then try to refill and try to use it in the second screen. Creed might just use it in the second screen. Regardless, that's the time save if he does use it. If he doesn't use it, then he's gonna be still on the even playing field with MetaLow. MetaLow getting the crash zip, making it past the checkpoint. Buster.
Yeah, looks like item 1 is well behaved in this.
Did you call that out earlier? The Buster Immune Joes? Did you see that?
Oh, I think the Mecha Joes were Buster susceptible, but the Sniper Joes, like the Joes themselves. No, I did not know that they were a Buster Immune.
Yeah, I just saw I think it was Creed trying to shoot one, and the shield was gone, but the but the lemon's tanked anyway. It's quite appropriate. We have Crashman music in Air stage and MetaLow's in Crash stage, so it could kind of throw you off there a little bit. But alright, well, Creed finding Heat as well. So his
very effective weakness.
Just as fast. Yeah, definitely so. Very effective. Super effective, one might even. Sorry.
So Creed is now in go mode, having all 3 items.
Yeah, and he's gonna join MetaLow and Crash. Looks like I think Creed has done Bubble, correct? Or
oh yeah, he did.
That? Okay.
My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. I was just double checking. Okay, so Creed has 2 left, and then Meta finished Crash, so he's got 2 left as well. Creed stages a little bit longer than Meta's, as he's got Crash and Heat, 2 longer stages. I'd say Heat's not quite as long as Crash. Crash is definitely the longest in the game. MetaLow, on the other hand, has Heat and Metal. Metal, pretty quick stage. Compared to Crash, I would say, but then again, Creed's already halfway through.
And Creed's going to have an advantage going into that Heatman stage because he has item 2, and that will facilitate his movement again across those Yoku blocks coming up in that second section Heat.
Right? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, because MetaLow's going to have to traverse the Yoku blocks manually. Oh, Creed, on the other hand, getting popped, and he's falling down a little bit. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. Oh, Meta, on the other hand, also falling down. So, yeah. So, maybe that just negated itself.
Very close. Flawless execution of that zip. But here's the part where Meta's going to have to take those Yoku blocks vanilla.
Yeah, and where Creed's gonna get the ride here in the next stage might be what he needs. It's just gonna be Heat versus Metal, which stage will go faster for our runners, and Creed having the item 2 advantage. So,
and I'm not surprised that it's so close and it's gonna stay so close, and I think that's gonna be a theme as we get further and further along this tournament. Closer to the semifinals and finals. We've had a lot of very intense races.
Yeah,
Very
Creed.
skillful players.
Creed there missing his footing on that last item 3, trying to get that little time save on the mini ladder up zip, but he didn't get it, unfortunately. Had to drop down, spent a couple seconds instead. Meta finding Bubble Man in heat stage, bustering him down pretty quick. He was pretty buster weak, and Meta's going into his 8th robo as Creed's leaving his 7th. This is pretty close still, guys.
Yeah, this is definitely exciting. We'll see how Creed handles this heat stage. He is able to execute those zips as flawlessly, which I have no doubt in his abilities.
This might be a spot where Creed's gonna save some time versus. I'd say Meta would save some time here versus Creed. Oh yeah, maybe because he does get the metal zip. So I'll say it took him a couple tries to get it. So it's hard to say. He might have saved just a bit. Just a little bit, maybe a second or two by doing that over.
That looks like a very effective, instantly charged heat that is very efficient with the ammunition use as well.
Yeah, I didn't think about that because Creed didn't do that zip with this item 1. I don't believe he did anyway. And Meta getting right here to the boss door, so he is ahead for sure on his 8th robo as Creed gets to take the ride. So Creed took the routing better in my opinion, even though Meta's a little ahead. But you know, that metal stage last has been a thing.
And I think that's the first E-tank I've seen Meta pop.
Yeah, Creed popped the same one as well against that Woodman, and yeah, too. And we're heading to the Wily stages. Dr. Wiggle Brows himself. Shoutouts to Kame.
You know what that high-pitched squelching sound means? It's time for our favorite game, Charlie Boy, where we get to guess the color palette and the weakness of the upcoming Mecha Dragon. Bonus points for being as descriptive as possible. So get your guesses.
Go ahead.
Oh boy.
You go first.
I am thinking expired orange juice yellow with clotted blood red highlights and weakness to bubble.
Okay. Cool. All right, so MetaLow is I think MetaLow is climbing this climb here, and see where he goes. And Creed also taking the item 2 ride. They both item 2'd across this section. Okay, I'll guess. Jeez. How about red?
Waiting for it.
Red and air shooter.
It almost looked like MetaLow was riding on that telly.
Traffic light red, if you
Traffic light red.
And air shooter. Yeah. Okay, switch to the metal blade to take out the Robots.
Super effective.
That's them little hopping bunnies there for you you not Mega Man fans. Or maybe that's not the correct term. Not Mega Man fan. I mean, you're here, you're watching, you're a Mega Man fan. But for those who don't know the technical term, I'd say that is turquoise or cyan. Huh?
Very, very much so. Oh, someone did guess cyan. Who said cyan? Mad Ewok Herd.
Yeah, that's the Mad Ewok Herd.
A little weakness hunting here. It's Buster again.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
Thank you, Charlie Boy.
Yep. No, don't thank me. Thank MetaLow, because MetaLow is the one who found the Buster, and so does Creed. So here it is. And I'd say Creed finds it a little quicker than Meta. Meta did some fishing on page 2, which is a gamble somewhat. But if you find the the page 2 gamble or gambit, and it pays off like whenever you it pays off whenever you get it right. I'll say that. But yeah, so Buster, so Creed catching up a few seconds here.
It's an extremely close race for them to be just a couple screens away from each other, and Wily too. Quick boomerang for the wall weakness. MetaLow picking up a third E-Tank. And he is falling down, and let's see how this hallway treats him.
I think Creed actually picked up a couple of seconds there, as he did not get the refills, but then again, searching for this wall weakness here. You know, I personally I don't agree, and I'll tell you why. Because if you do get the quote unquote god weakness, as everyone likes to call it, the weakness where it's either metal or wood, you don't need to know the wall weakness, and that's why I don't agree. You're wasting time by doing that. I mean, sometimes you get an advantage by knowing it early, but yeah, just personally, I don't think it's worth it.
I mean, I guess hence the gambit. If it pays off, it pays off. Otherwise, you're investing time, and that goes for when you're setting up zips or certain zips.
I'll say this: if Creed would have skipped that wall weakness there, he would probably be tied up, if not ahead, right now. But I mean, to be fair, because MetaLow did check it, so MetaLow checked, Creed did not, or Creed checked too. If Creed wouldn't have checked, it would have evened them out. I mean, not saying they're not even. I mean, look, they're both in Pico. Meta almost done with his fight. He has 2 more Pico toasters to go, as Creed has about 4 to 6 left. And yeah, Meta's on his way out.
Probably one of my favorite things about the randomizer is the randomized music and the soundtracks we get to enjoy. There's not a single track that I do not like.
Pop quiz, what track is this?
Shoot.
I can tell you what game it's from.
It's from Mega Man 1, right?
It is. What stage?
This is... Oh. No.
I mean, the chat is...
I know. I'm not looking at the chat. Alright, I'm looking at the chat. It's not a game.
Said I'm looking at the chat. Oh yeah, it's Fireman stage. Do. Have the it has the Chankies following you before they have Chanky makers. They come up from the fire bars and come up from the ground and whatnot. Alright, so we're searching for Guts weakness, and Meta finds supercharged heat to melt away the Guts dozer. That's going to leave him with half of his item consumption, or his weapon energy drained. And yeah, we'll see if he decides to...
Creed is in. We'll see if he saves a little bit of time with his item search here.
Yeah, Meta go ahead and taking the time to refill here. I kind of agree with this. You definitely would rather take the time to refill than not have it, because if you go into, say, Pico, or sorry, Boo Beams and not have the energy, you are in for a bad time. All right, and I didn't see. Did Creed find heat as well?
He did.
Okay.
He did find heat. Meta, the position there of the gaps or the false floors is randomized, and that was a very cleanly executed vertical zip.
Creed saving half a second by not going for that other weapon refill, but
so into the anxiety rooms, as I affectionately call them. Yep. You like to refer to them as the spike screens of doom.
That's what they are. Creed missing the vertical zip, taking a little extra time to make sure to get it. I say extra. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be any.
Like a second. A second.
It's less than having to ride item 2 across that. So definitely still saving time, even though he missed, unfortunately. And Meta finding a Robbit here, using the carrots to deboost to make it cross this screen. Creed affectionately 2 screens behind. This is a very close race still, anybody's race. It's gonna come down to fishing, I believe. We'll see. Come down to the refight. Who can find weaknesses first or less. Yeah, Meta missing the zip. Creed getting hit here by the same carrot, placing his item 1s accordingly. He can't pause buffer around until the item 1s disappear, so he takes the carrot boost as well.
And here we are at the Boo Beam fight. MetaLow's going to check, see if there is a
not metal
item that makes its way through the walls.
I can't say
the lag that we can't see.
Yeah, I can't say that I saw him check wood, but yeah, he goes ahead and takes down the walls. And good thing they refilled that heat, because that is the weakness to the Boo Beams.
And that's quite the versatile weapon, this seed. Charged heat is doing its thing.
Yeah, Creed checked metal, went ahead and item 1'd his way up, and now he's gonna search Boo Beam weakness. Pause buffer. He finds the charged heat. Now he's just gotta find the wall weakness. There it is, quick boomerang. He should have a similarly close fight. Taking a little extra time to pause buffer here. If you have the health for it, guys, make sure to take those hits, but don't get too greedy with it, because you can die, obviously. Alright, so that's one fight down for MetaLow in refights, as Creed is on his way to the refights. Still a very close race, guys.
Extremely close race, and I think, well, stuff happens in the refights, and then with the Wily machine, if there has to be a little fishing there for weaknesses, that can change the game. Airman being a bro.
Yeah. Shout outs to Siberian Bull for that terminology. Alright, Meta 3 down.
Not being a bro.
Meta's going clockwise. Will some of Creed's fishing in earlier levels help him out here in these refights? We'll see.
These boss fights are going so quick, I can't even keep track of them.
Yeah, it's really hard, I know. Trust me, as I end up tracking when people, when other people commentate a decent amount of times. Creed jumping over the health drop, trying to save those frames there. Save the extra time. Flashman being silly, man, and then Crashman for Creed. Creed's got
a little spammy.
5 down, I think. Meta's got 6.
2 left.
Yeah.
So, it was Metal that Creed took care of.
One more shot,
Oof.
yeah. Okay, yep, 3 more for Creed. So now Creed's got 5 down, sorry. I said he had 5, he had 4 down. Yeah, Meta's on his way to the machine, that's all 8 for him. Like I said, guys, it's coming down to fishing. A few blasts from Creed. Creed on his way out. 2 more. And of course, our machine, Buster. Our 50-50 Buster Week machine is it's either Buster Week or it's not, and it's definitely Buster Week this time.
Yeah, keep your eyes peeled on this race, because it is, not only is it close, but this time, looking at possibly sub 30.
Yeah, it's very possible. If Meta just holds right and he finds the weakness right off the bat, he will get another sub 30 here. Creed, on the other hand, I don't think he will get sub 30. Yeah, it all comes down to fishing here. It all comes down to fishing.
Cheerful music as we are making our way down the victory row.
Creed gonna go ahead and take the time to refill that charged heat. And he's gonna grab the other refill as well.
It's gonna cost him a little bit of time.
That second refill there, it's and it's pretty hard to grab if you don't have an E-tank. But Creed luckily has one. Alright, Meta fishing, he's got 10 seconds. Let's see, can he hit this sub 30?
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah, not too long on the fishing.
Quite.
Feels bad, man. He finds the metal blade. If he would have took that page 2 gambit, he would have had it.
All right, and that is Meta eking out those first of potentially 3 races with an official SRL time of 30 minutes 11 seconds. GG's in the chat, please, for Meta for that blazing race.
Blazing fast time. Yeah, it's ridiculous how quick he is, man. And Creed right behind him, he still has sub 31 potential, which is also still blazing fast at this game. Like,
and we'll see how he makes his way through his menuing.
Yeah, it looks like he gonna go page 1 all the way down first. I know it's funny. Air actually sounds like when you shoot it, it sounds like a hit confirm. So pretty interesting.
A little trolly there with the sound effect. And he finds metal, and he is also finished with his official SRL time of 31:20. GG's in chat for Creed as we get set up.
Yeah, let me set these guys up a new room. GG's for these players and Creed, as they have done an outstanding job at tearing this game apart. Creed finishing with official SRL time up 31 minutes and 20 seconds. That's affectionately a minute and 20 seconds behind, or sorry, a minute and 9 seconds behind MetaLow, but still stupid fast at this game.
Stupid fast. And as we're getting set up for race number 2, let me give a quick shout out to SpeedGaming. Thank you so much to Mad Ewok Herd, who is here helping us with the technical stuff in the background, making the stream possible. If you enjoy SpeedGaming, which we all do, it is September, so feel free to hit that subscribe and follow button at the top. Get a bunch of dope emotes. They're a great group of people that help us bring these games out. And Charlie Boy here, he actually organized the Mega Man 2 2019 tournament for this year. So very appreciative for all the work he has put in. And thank you guys for watching. It's great having you. It's a lot of fun. Good way to spend a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, it seems as MetaLow is going to take a little 5-minute break right quick, so I think I'm going to actually do the same. Guys, make sure to get your popcorns and your candies, and as Prodigy said last year, and it resonated with me, your trash food or your junk food. I like it. Get that, go get you some snacks, whatever you got to do. Stay tuned. And yeah, we'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get some trash food myself.
Get up, stretch your legs.
Yeah.
Got 0 time for blood clots here. Time for some junk, man. How are y'all doing in this beautiful Saturday? I am on the East Coast of the United States, up in Maryland, and we have some gorgeous weather here today. nice to have the windows open. Let us know if you want where you're joining us from. Prodigy, we know that's a lie. You are not native to the solar system. Yeah, the winner of this race is going to be facing off against Stuff and Things in the semifinals, which is going to... I mean, these are all incredible racers, but I'm also looking forward very much to that match. And the loser this afternoon will be fighting against Squidman. All of our racers in the tournament are accomplished players, especially so here in the final bracket. It is double elimination, which means our players that don't make it on their first races, they have a second chance to stay alive. So coming up, we'll see the match against Stuff and Things and Squidman, with the winner and loser of this race respectively. And then heading up in the losers bracket, we will have a race between Kamasenin and Kumba. The winner of that race will fight off against Charlie Boy. For those of you new to the randomizer, almost every aspect of the game is randomized in some way during the seed. What is not randomized is the amount of damage enemies, or the amount of damage Mega Man takes from enemies, the behavior of item 2 and 3, the position of, or the enemy layout, as far as, or I'm sorry, the bosses that Mega Man faces off against in the Wily stages. Their weaknesses definitely are randomized, and you'll see randomization for the colors, music, when Mega Man gets items, the different weapon behaviors, item 1 behaviors, which can facilitate or troll some of our players. We got a new seed rolled, and our players will be getting that loaded up. Lost IQ. Yeah, that sounds like me today.
All right. Looks like these guys are getting set up. Oh, XR rolled the seed. All right, I'm fine with that.
Officially, this is my first seed I have rolled for the Mega Man 2019 tournament, so I am responsible for the carnage that is about to come.
All right, yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean that's what the bot's there for, to give an impartial roll for anybody who needs to roll it. Shout outs to Daggett for making our roll chan bot. Although the name that he picked for her wasn't exactly the best name, Kappa. but he got a good one. He got a good. Let's say Roll-chan is the good one.
Yeah,
Not
who is
saying I
Daga? I've never heard of that guy.
Not saying that I had anything to do with that name, you know. I technically called it Robot. The name Daggett used initially. No, okay. It was something something along the lines of Mega Man 2 Rando Roller or something like that. I was like, yo, okay. Well, no, I don't think it was like that. It was more like Mega Man 2 Rando Bot, I think is what he called it. It was generic, you know, not bad, not bad. I'll give it to him. I'll give it to him. But you know, Roll-chan came along a little bit after I tried to help with that a little bit, trying to make one, and I named mine Rollbot, but I couldn't figure out the programming, so we just combined the two. He had the programming aspect of it, and
Waifu bot. Some final touches being made. All right.
these runners making sure that the old Charlie boy was back. How sweet of them! I appreciate it. You know, they didn't have to wait on me. They could have. XR Tex, I got some faith in him that he could handle things while I was away. But
Won't be a complete and utter dumpster fire. We have to.
Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. I'm here for race 2. Excited.
Right.
Hope you guys are excited. We'll see if Creed can blow things up with base. The battle of the robot dog owners.